I had a chance to check out the Kevin Hart series on Netflix called Don't F This Up. And I watched the whole series all the way through. And, you know, one thing that me personally, I can relate to Kevin Hart on is his work ethic, because I'm literally working like that myself. Because the thing is, when you grow up in the hood, you grow up poor, you don't have much. I remember the day I was standing on the street corner, you know, and I remember I looked up to the sky and said, boy, if I can get out of here and if I can have my health and strength, I'll never return to this. I don't want my kids in this. So that part of the documentary series itself, like I said, I understand Kevin 100% on that. I didn't realize Kevin worked that hard like that. And that work ethic, you know, comes from you don't want to go back. You don't want to be put in that kind of situation. So, you know, I looked at Kevin's situation about his family and, you know, how he kind of run his life. And, you know, that's even understandable as well, because you work so hard at everything. But then your family is like, hey, you know, I mean, you need to do this, you need to do that. And, you know, we at home but your mindset is like, look, I gotta work. I gotta get this while I can, because it may not always be around. So I understand that with Kevin 100%. But that's not really what people are talking about so much with this Netflix series, not his work ethic, which is something I can really respect. I also can respect, you know, the team of brothers that he have around him. I like that, because, you know, those brothers keep him in line. But the time that the brothers wasn't around to keep him in line, that's when all the scandal had happened. If you remember that Kevin Hart ended up cheating on his wife, Eniko, with a woman, and it was caught on tape. Now, as you saw the series, he found out that a friend that he knew for a long time was the one that set up the tape and everything. And that's some cold situation right there, is that you have somebody you know around you all that time, but yet that's the person that was your Judas to betray you. But his friends wasn't around to keep him in line, because he said, look, they wouldn't even allow him to get to that point. But my thing is this: when you get to a certain level, you know, all kind of people go come at you like that. All kind of people, even some people that may be a close friend, could have some jealousy, you know, there. And you got to watch, you know, the vultures. You got to watch everybody want to take you down, because they can't stand to see you happy, to see your life. Some people couldn't stand to see you married, etc. Now let's get to the part that everyone was talking about, the issue with him cheating. So his wife, Eniko, got on the series, and she was explaining how she found out that he cheated through a DM, and it was sent to her. And, you know, when she ended up calling him about it, she was cussing, and normally she don't cuss like that. So she was going off on him, rightfully so. And she was saying that you publicly humiliated me. And yes, in his position, it is public humiliation. Any little step a person like him take, TMZ gonna know about it. Everybody gonna know about it, because unfortunately in America, we have this celebrity culture where even if they eat at a restaurant, people want to know about it, unfortunately. Now, the woman was hurt. You know, she was crying about it. And, you know, for me, with the last video, we talked about Snoop Dogg with the Selena Powell situation. Now, with my position on that, you know, I can understand how it feels as being a spouse at one point in time, having that same thing happen to me. So I'm always going to have an affinity for any spouse that's cheated on, because you are in a marriage. OK, you're not like, see, it's bad with his boyfriend and girlfriend. Yes, it's bad. But when you're married, it goes on a different level. You understand? Because you took vows. I don't really go at the other person. You know, sometimes people say, oh, well, you want to fight the other person that your person cheated on. No, they didn't take vows. You did. It don't matter if they even knew you were married. You took the vows. You the one stepped out of the family. OK, you the one chose to even put the health of both of you at risk fooling with this person. Now, according to what they were saying, you know, and alluding to, like, maybe Kevin went out to the club and he was drunk and he said he didn't remember. So obviously he was drinking. My thing is, you know, you get to a certain age, and for me, I'm over it when it comes to nightclubs and things like that. I mean, I'm so over that sort of thing. Go pay a lot of money for some drinks. Now, you could have went to the liquor store and bought bottles of drinks and you'd have been good. You know, you'll get a mixed drink. Let's say somebody get a mixed drink, like let's say people drink Grey Goose or whatever, and cranberry. By the time you pay all those drinks at a club somewhere, you could have went and bought a bottle of Grey Goose, and Grey Goose is really an inexpensive vodka, what I'm talking about. And, you're there with all these people. It gets annoying. It's like, what am I doing here? I mean, now you're young, you don't got nothing going on. I guess you think, that's the greatest thing ever. But I guess at my age, I've done all that. I think it's you see the same people. Okay, you could travel, whatever, but you still see the same people. I think it's a waste of money and waste of time. I mean, if I want to get together with some people that I really get together with people I know, I'd rather do a thing at the crib. You can drink all you want. You don't have to worry about, paying all that money, cover charge, fake phony people, or anything else you don't have to worry about. I'd rather do that. Now, you got some places, yes, where you say, well, I want to go where the grown folks at. And that's a little different. But those places that they be going, like Kevin and all them celebrities, that's not what you call grown folks. You have 20-year-olds still walking in there. You understand? The grown folks place I'm talking about is people that got careers, people that got a lot to lose. Not that crowd don't have nothing to lose. So Kevin got caught up in that situation. And I noticed in the documentary, he kept saying, yeah, I made a mistake. It was a mistake. He didn't say the word cheating. He said a mistake. Now, people also homed in on what Eniko said that, well, he has, 3 times, so he already got 1 strike. So basically people saying, oh, I guess, she's saying that he could cheat, up to the 3rd time and she'll leave him. I don't know what fully she meant by that, but I mean, I can't really say much on this situation. People also were saying, well, that's what she get because she was a home wrecker. But he explained that, wait a minute, the marriage was over by the time I met her. Now, let me talk about that portion of it, because some people that have that conversation say, oh, she was a home wrecker, and listen to the ex. If they were living separate, that's what Kevin said at that time period. Sometimes you could be in a marriage and you could hang on to a marriage because of the children. Okay. I've been there and done that. And I stayed 2 years longer than what I normally would have because of, my son. But once I realized, that's not going to work, then you move on. So you could be in a marriage, but not be in a marriage. You could just kind of be existing. But if you're at the point that you're living apart, then like I said about that, if I walk out that door, I'm going all the way with this one. We're going to get a divorce because there's no way you're going to hold my life back. Because what if I meet a woman out there, she could be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I'm held back because of this situation? No, not at all. So if the marriage is over, they're living separate, then that's not a home wreck at that point. No, it's not. If it was, I'll be the first one to say that. I would say Kevin wrong, but he kind of explained that situation during the special. But my thing is this: as a man, especially as a man, you're making it, you're working hard, you come from the hood. It's gonna be a lot of things coming at you with that situation, especially you being a married man, because that's like, you got your family, you're happy, you're trying to do your thing. So there's a lot of things that try to take you down. So the last video we talked about Snoop, a lot of people want to come to Snoop's defense. Oh, his wife knew, he got extra kids, he got this and that. And like I said, if that's true, then that's not a good look for his wife, but it still doesn't excuse him doing what he does, especially that woman that he was fooling with at the same time. No one, including myself, never been in that position where all kind of people coming at you, but I'm a firm believer of like those brothers. If those brothers say they're not going with you and you need those accountability brothers around, take them accountability brothers with you. That's what you do. Take them. And if they can't go with you, then, forget it. And they say, nah, I'm chilling in the crib. I'm not going nowhere because I don't want nothing going on. I want my team, like even when I travel, when I go to Africa and different places like that, I got the brothers around because I'm not hanging out with nobody without my brothers around. It's just that simple. You ain't about to say I did anything or insinuate I did anything. But, it's sad to see, what happened, definitely to his wife. But it seemed like they made up with the situation. And, sometimes people bounce back from that and they move on. She was pregnant at the time. The sucker part of it is she was pregnant at the time. I mean, that part, that's not cool because, she about to have your baby and you out there with some female. Some people can move on past that, but it makes it very hard. And some people like, I don't forgive nothing like that. I'm out. I mean, you have 2 different scenarios, but I always notice, this is something I do notice, when, the men, cheat in these situations when they're celebrities, usually the wives are like, well, I'm going to forgive him and let's see, work that out. and versus, let's say, if Kevin was a regular 9 to 5 brother, maybe she would have reacted a lot different. I don't know. But I notice the celebrity women don't really just take off like that. And, women do think a little different. Probably say in their mind, I'm not about to give all this up what I have for some little whore. I'm not going to do that, especially if it wasn't a relationship or pillow talk. It was just him doing something, and that was the end of it. And maybe that's the way, they move past it. I know they have to look at it in multiple ways, but, this particular series was definitely something. I learned about Kevin, that the brother do work hard. And like I said, there's also the few things, that I like his team of brothers that he have around him. But you have other people, I'm like, well, why you didn't hire more brothers and sisters to be like, I saw he a publicist and a couple other people. I'm like, Kevin, where's some jobs with the brothers and sisters? I know they got some great publicists in the community, but that's how I think. I believe we can find the best and brightest in our community. And if we can't, then you look outside. But, let me know what you think about the docuseries with Kevin Hart, especially the part about the cheating and how his wife reacted to it and her moving past it. Is it something that you could possibly move past? If, let's say, if Kevin Hart was your husband, would you look past that, especially with that situation being publicly humiliated? We do know that the friend was arrested for extortion. They did drop the charges, as they say in the documentary, but they had some other charges pending on him with this situation because he wanted to extort him for $10 million for that video, which is like utterly wrong. But, Kevin did talk about it. He put it in this documentary. He has to do that at all. And, definitely a lot of people can learn from that. But, women, if you were caught in that situation like Eniko, how would you respond?